Hey, and welcome back to the channel. So today I am going to cover the last components of Campfire Blaze that are available in the last day of their beta promotion. So they did send out the emailer earlier, Friday night, so that'd be October 30th, just letting you know what they've included. So these are the items that they have added to beta. So you'll notice some of your world building tools. So if you're familiar with Pro and the world building pack, most of the stuff's in there. But the most interesting addition, of course, is the first bullet, the one that they deemed was really important. I don't know why I can't highlight that. But we're going to check that out and see if it's any good. So, and then just a quick note that they are having a contest for December 15th. So if you are going to use Campfire Blaze, keep that in mind. Anyway, I did a test before I recorded this video of some of the new features. I didn't try all of them, like I didn't do philosophies or anything like that. I did open up systems and cultures, and I'll probably do species on the demo because I did that on Pro, and I actually like it. That's one of the reasons why I bought World Building pack for Pro, is the species, because I have in my superhero stories, I have he's on a Caribbean island and where they're doing experiments on the wildlife, and so I've got different types of animals that I would like to keep track of and what they're about. So I think it's useful. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and look at the update, and remember that beta closes on November 1st, so we'll go to the full paid plan. But you can kind of get a sense of whether or not it's worth it. If you haven't checked out my other videos, I did a day one beta test, and I have a comparison between Campfire Pro and Campfire Blaze. So this will be in the trilogy of videos, because I won't be doing any more after this, at least not based on beta, because beta is going to be gone by the time you see this. So anyway, let's check it out, see if the processor and its extra features are any good. So this will be a quick demo because I've already tested the things that they've added. I didn't test everything, but I've tested enough to show you what they offer. And if you've been keeping up with my other videos, you'll know kind of how this system works. It's going to be very similar to what the other modules offer. So the same kind of interface. So just remember, you can use your folders and things on the side over here, and then some pages will have a little plus at the bottom. You just click on that to add new entries. It's pretty straightforward. I did look at real quick, just before I go to the actual stuff, I did look at the timeline again to see if they fixed some stuff, and they're definitely working. Let's put it that way. I still don't love what's going on over here. I think that's still useless, but I do think that, hold on, I'm trying to click on the little button here. I was just about to show you that I think they did a much better job fixing some things. Oh, here we go. That's what I was looking for. There's still a few issues that I don't care for, but it's okay. What you can see now is that they're a little easier to snap. So I was having problems with that the other day because I couldn't get it to actually work well, but now things are actually moving. So just wanted to point that out there. So if anyone from Campfire is watching this, thank you for fixing that. I do think this is a little friendlier now than it was. Still not a big fan of the way it's designed, but at least it's a little more manageable. I still think this needs to be fixed, though. This should definitely be more accessible in a way that makes sense. So just a quick note too, if you ever want to go back and modify any of your scenes, just go to edit event, and you can pull up the main card here and show us what you're working on. So that's where I think the strength of timeline comes in, is being able to deal with all this stuff here. So anyway, you've already seen my opinions of that, so we're going to move on to the good stuff. So worlds, just to kind of a quick overview about locations. I do have a location in here. You saw me edit that in an earlier video, I believe, or did you? You know what? I might have done this off camera, actually. Let's take a quick look, and just in case. I had two locations here, and you'll see that I've filled in some of the basics that you can update here. So if you go to the manage attributes, here's all the different panels you can open. So remember that most of these have panels and attributes. So if you want to kind of minimize your thinking, then this is a good way to go. Also, it's just a good way to have charts and things. And then, of course, any other additional element you want to add, it all goes here. And then, if you want to check out others, just backspace, and then you have the same issue. So the main criticism I have, again, it's the same criticism I have of most of these apps, is that it factors in more of the kind of the bigger term ideas, like per capita. I probably would turn all that off if I were doing this for real. I would like to certainly have more keywords that are not just global but also local, and so that would be nice. But right now I don't have that, and it's the same problem I have with Pro. Is I don't necessarily have a section for businesses or downtown landmarks, sure, but stuff that matters in a story, it needs a little bit of improvement, but that's okay. It's a work in progress, and it's definitely shaping up to be pretty good in the 31 days since it released open beta. They've definitely made some improvements, so I'm not complaining. I think it works fine. So let's go ahead and this is one of the things I did test, is the Encyclopedia. I really like the Encyclopedia. So this is one of the things that I think allows Campfire Blaze to stand out among many others. I do think Pro has one of these too, so I wouldn't say it's exclusive to Blaze. But what I like about this is it has a wiki system. So I didn't use the folder yet. I probably could, but I made this test article for Coffee at 10 a.m. And what it does is you can design your own little wiki page within your text. So you'll see that I labeled it Coffee 10 a.m. And actually, let me show you the new article format so you see what you're opening up. And then if you do one of these little pluses, you're just going to add a second piece down there. I'll just show you real quick. If you do that, you can actually determine which panels you want. So you can get the text, I think, subheader. Just you can look at what they offer down here, but it's like building a little web page inside your web page. So it's kind of nice. But this is the template, and then this is an example of what I filled in for my own template. So and then the point of this is to show why Bob might want to drink coffee. So it's my own little kind of fake report on how coffee commodity is in 196 countries currently in power on the planet. Most people who drink it love it. The ones who don't love it are typically without tongues or mouths. And then I have a little asterisk. It isn't clear whether there are actually 196 countries in power, just as it's possible to travel to 195 of them and verify whether this claim is true. The official position of this article's author is that it's probably true because coffee. Likewise, there's no rule stating that people with tongues or mouths are the only ones capable of loving coffee. They're just the only ones able to taste it. Then you have a little sidebar here. I did not update this, but I would kind of use the same principle. I would just highlight and then fill things in, and your little thing here allows you to add images, which of course you do so takes you to your normal image page. So you definitely want to populate your images. So the next element is the stat table, and so this is where I updated my stat chart to include the details that correspond with what I did up there. And then this is another panel that I added in, I think through this button, I believe. Yeah, I went with templates. You can do what you want with that. You don't have to do that. I think it's probably smarter just to have a single article. But then if you want to add extra pieces down here, like was that images? What is this here? Toggle summary. I think this just turns off items. So pick what you want. But anyway, that's how the Encyclopedia works. And what's really neat about this is you can actually link. So if you go to this bar over here, actually, let me do we'll highlight the new articles. I don't know what this is going to do yet. If you click on this little button over here, you can link from library. And, okay, maybe there's nothing here. I thought this pulled up, I guess it depends on which folder you're in. Never mind. We'll just skip that. I'm sure it's something that's in progress. Don't worry about it. And if you buy it and you still don't see it, then check the instructions. All right, so I tested out systems. Now, I did this wrong. Big surprise if you're, following my videos. But one thing I like about this, and I actually pre-filled this. I know it doesn't look like anything. I actually did fill this in. I thought I filled this in. Did this not save my system? What? Oh, no. Oh no, it didn't save my system. That's not good. Oh no! Did I link it? New system. Okay, well, fine. We'll do that. Alright, so that's a link from library. Okay, this is troubling. I actually had a system that I did before I hit record, and now it's gone. Whatever. Yeah, I did it wrong anyway, so you're not missing anything. So let me actually show you what it does, and assuming that it'll actually work next time. So I was going to do like a system procedure. So I was going to actually write a flow chart down here. You have flow chart information. If you go to information, this is actually probably the better place to start because you can actually determine what your system is. I was trying to build a kind of like a procedure on how to make coffee. Turns out system is actually not about that at all. In this case, if you go into the attributes section and click the drop button, you have type and structure and choose. What you actually have is you have things like campaign, charity, club, coalition, collective, community. So it's like groups. You're looking for like groups and stuff. So what's really neat about this is, again, I think this is worth the $30 for the lifetime. I'm just telling you right now. I'm kind of mixed on Campfire Blaze, but the beauty of Campfire Blaze is everything's by module. So, if there's a module that just doesn't work like you do, don't buy it yet. But if there's one you really like, go for the lifetime. And what's cool about this is, like, I picked economy, so I'm gonna do that again, but we'll probably do a different one too, because I think I can add more. When I click economy and I go to structure, look, it gives me economical structure. So if I do like a functional structure, that's cool, right? Now what if I want to do just a campaign? We'll just do something similar. If I do that, well, I can do flat. But now let's take this away and let's see. So flat campaign. So I actually thought it was a flat economy. Let's actually do another one here, because I had a feeling it was going to give you drop down or selections based on your choice. So if I do campaign again, well, okay, I was excited because when I hit economy, like I know there's a thing called flat economy, matrix. I don't know like what that is. So I guess so. No matter what you do, you can decide like what your type is. So then you can describe what it actually is over here. So, do I have a drop down here? So the aroma gang, and it's not going to save any of this according to what happened before, but the aroma gang is responsible for buying and selling coffee to would-be buyers and sellers. Okay, and we'll use the clock to show that they need to be prompt on that. History, I guess this is where you do like your backstory and some notes. The aroma gang is pretty cool. You would never write this in real life, so I hope that you come up with something better when you're actually working on it. History, the aroma gang lives in a warehouse down by the wharf and likes to invite upstart businessmen over for coffee whenever the need for business arrives. Okay, so now that I've set that up, I don't know if they're still divisional. They might be. You know what? We'll say they're divisional for now. I don't really know yet what they're going to be. But this new system will be called coffee distribution. Okay. And then I'm not going to worry about inviting or doing the texture now. So here's where this gets cool. So let's do another system. Oh, that's saved. Okay. Oh, maybe is that might be what I had before. Okay. Hold on, information. Oh, yeah, that's what happened. Okay. Fair enough. So we'll call this coffee receiving. And this is our economy. So it was going to be the system for brewing an economic or an excellent cup of coffee, but now it's going to be coffee intake for distribution to businesses. All right, I'm not going to do notes or history. So if I go to, okay, so flowchart. So if I want to add a library item, I can go into my other system here for coffee receiving and choose. And then do another one with coffee distribution. You'll notice it's not allowing me to repeat. So whether it's good or bad, I don't know. But if I move around, I can do my new color. This will be the coffee, oops, not coffee, or coffee. So coffee distribution. Flowchart. So I'm giving myself a, we'll make it brown. It's coffee. All right. So now what we'll do is we'll know. Let's see, coffee receiving. So it starts with coffee distribution and ends with a cup of coffee. I should probably change it to coffee bean. That's okay. And what we're doing here is I'm reminding myself what the system is. So I'm just going to connect these together. And now I have a, hold on, let's try it one more time. Here we go. So now I have a system of coffee design. All right, that's kind of cool, right? I think so. So that's a system chart. And then if you want to go back to the main thing, I don't know why I didn't save my cup of coffee, but what can you do? So let's say if I want to change the rename folder here, coffee supply chain is what it actually is. Save. I can add these two into the folder. And now I got my chain. So I think that's pretty cool. I like the systems chart. It takes a little bit to get used to it, but it's cool. Cultures, I looked at that. I don't think I did anything with this, but essentially just, again, add a culture here, new culture, and then you have all of your basics, and then your basic info, manage attributes, kind of cultural attributes you want. You got, just click in all of these elements here, choose, and then what you have is you can just start filling in the information. So 400 people belong to what's the name of our culture here? The coffee club. Alright, so what's the rituals? I don't think they amputate anything. That would be bad. Animal sacrifices, maybe, depending. Baptisms, festivals. They'll do festivals. I don't think they do human sacrificing in the coffee club. I could be wrong. I haven't gotten that far and evaluated it, but it might be. So they're definitely collectivism because they want to collect coffee. And they speak, I don't think they have in all languages, do they? All right, well, we'll just keep it simple. I will say English because I speak it. And then as far as ethnic groups go, we'll say they're Greek, but they could be they're Greek and they are a Femi. But I have no, I think they're pretty much anything. Art styles, definitely actually, no, they're romantic. Yeah, definitely. And then architecture, you're not going to use all this because, I mean, come on, it's coffee club. They live in the in a postmodern. Actually, that's probably true. So common values, I don't know if we have an add item. Let's do that. Yeah, so I keep forgetting I can't highlight that. It's common value. They how to drink. They all use mugs there. Social interaction. Members of the coffee club must greet each other with a finger to the nostril and a smile before they can be taken seriously. They will also clink their mugs together before every meeting. Any member who brings a glass to the meetings will immediately be thrown out and disbanded. Okay, eating habits. Did this not? Okay, hold on. Will be thrown out. Again, this is why I don't like apps. I like desktop instead. And disbanded. And eating habits. All members are required to eat a cinnamon roll with their coffee, regardless of whatever stupid diet they are on. Okay. If you're going to join Coffee Club, you got to be prepared to gain some weight. All right. Stats. We'll add a stat. We'll say, we'll just copy the members stat. 400. 400, not 4,000, 400 people. Okay, that's good enough. Oh, actually, no, we'll do one more stat. Required number of cups per meeting. It's actually okay. Okay, no, I'll have to probably redraw that then. 4. Okay. All right, I'll have to probably oh, never mind. There's a drop down over there. 4 cups. Okay. They're very hardcore in the coffee club. So that's an example of culture. And then, of course, if you want your history, you can do that over here, which I'm not going to do. I think I've already bored you making you watch that. But that's an example of culture. And then the other one I looked at was species. And this is one I like on Campfire Pro. But if I go to the new folder and then the new species, and I don't know, this is library. If you take a look at some of the stuff it offers, you have your basic info, but you also don't forget about your plus at the bottom. So if you want to add any of these, you can. But we'll just take a look at some of the attributes that you can offer here. So you got the lifespan, averages there. And then so you can have your numbers, and then you decide which kingdom it belongs to. And I'm not sure why I would have a plant kingdom and not a plant animal type. That's weird. I guess it's invertebrate because it's a plant. So there's just some things you can do there. And then, of course, you use your usual add items here. I think, yeah. No drop downs for these. You just decide what you want them to be. But anyway, that's species. So, all right, now for the main event, you kind of got a sense for some of the stuff that they add. I do think that all the world building stuff, it's just as good here as it is in Pro. And if you care anything at all about world building or about details, I would definitely encourage you to get that module. It's really darn good. Now, let's take a look at the manuscript. It is finally open. So I did poke around at this a little bit. So I've already set up a little bit of a hierarchy over here. So when you do your new folder, you can do as many folders as you want. What I would recommend you do is break it by your act. So if you want to have like Act 2 down here, just right click, rename Act 2. And or if you have a different formula, maybe you want to do like save the cat, you can break it by beat. But then when you go inside, you're going to want to do one for your chapter and then one for your scene. So if you have any number of scenes, then this is what I do in Scrivener, by the way. If you haven't seen my Scrivener videos, I start by scenes and then I do chapters and acts later. I just find it's easier if you do everything by scene, because then you can always go back and rearrange it and then decide how much fit into a chapter. But when I click on the scene here, which is this is like the main element, then you can decide how you're going to work on it. Now, it saved all this. I didn't do anything here. This here, this is if you ever use Scrivener, you may have heard of the inspector tool. That's basically what this is. So you can go to an element or find another element, or you can go to the hotkey and find element. But what this does is it takes you to library. And so if I want to remember what Bob Smith is about, I just click on him and then choose. And then it'll populate the window with his stuff. And so I can just, if I want to remember what he's about, I click on the basic info and it'll give me his elements. And I just think that's really cool. That's and of course they can cycle through his different elements if I need to. So that's, in my opinion, the strength of this particular manuscript. And then if I want to do, rather than check out Bob, maybe I want to look at his location instead. I didn't want to go to characters. That wasn't quite what I wanted. Let's head back. I was trying to do, I think, find another element. That's what I actually wanted. All right, so let's go back to Bob again. I want to show you how to, like, what happens when you flip inside the elements here. All right, so we looked at Bob. So let's, instead of doing what I did, we're going to go to find another element. Okay, and then rather than go Bob, let's go to Bob's office. Choose. And then I'll populate that. Now, again, same thing. If you just want to see the overview of the office, you can click on that. The other thing you can do, if we can find another element, I don't know if we can actually do multiples, but we're going to try. So we're going to pick Bob and Fred. No, you can't. You can only do one. So that's the only drawback, is you can only do one population at a time. So it might get a little clunky switching back and forth. But the point is you have quick access. And then, of course, once it comes time to write, you can just, write Bob got into his car and left for the office, but he was tired. So, again, it's kind of slow, but that's, what can you do? It's an app. And then, I guess, enter. And if I want to do my word count check, I can just click on the chart and see how I'm doing. And so that's the manuscript feature, the brief overview of it and what you can do with it. And of course you can do your spacing and all of that. It's really rudimentary, all the options you have. Doesn't really even give you that many options for fonts, so you're going to go right for just typing, but you can change your sizes and things as you see. So really the main thing is, are you willing to type in this little box? You see how slow it is, so I think it depends on your web speed. So if you're, if you'd rather have something more dedicated, then, then you're going to have to probably keep writing in Word. but it's a good start. I think if you really do want an all-purpose app to do all your writing and planning, Blaze is a good one to go with right now. And it's going to get better. I'm sure they'll figure out how to optimize a bit more and continue to work on improving the experience. But I recommend it. I mean, I'm personally not going to probably use it, at least not now. I still like the systems I've got going. Pro, I'm probably more likely to use just because of the world building, and I do think that's going to be useful for me at some point once I put more effort into learning its architecture. But I'm not against Blaze. I think it's a really strong program. I think, again, my main hesitation on spending anything on it right now is just the web speed. I want to be able to see my words come out as I type them. I hate the fact that I can't see what I'm typing until like 3 seconds later. But if they ever figure out how to make that more optimized, or it might just be because I have like 50 tabs open. I'm sure if I reduce it down to 1 or 2, it might be a lot faster, or it might be a different experience in Chrome. So, if your web speed is fast enough, give it a try. And you can always do a trial. Every component's like, I think $1 a month. So, try each one for a month. See if you like it. So, but that's Manuscript and all the other things. Again, I think the world building elements are really good. I think those alone are worth the investment. And then timeline's getting better. It's still not great, but it is what it is. And then characters, if you saw my last video, I'm a big fan of the character component. So character world building is still, in my opinion, top of the line. The writing Manuscript, it's functional, it's good, it's simple. If you are adverse to Scrivener, then you might prefer this. At least it's clean. And I like that it gives you all the extra white space. It's one of my problems with Scrivener is it's not really white space friendly, but and I think there's probably a dark mode at some point. I'm not sure how to use that. I think most of these things have dark mode. If it doesn't, I'm sure someday it might, but whatever. So anyway, that's the end of my Campfire Blaze series. If you like it, give it a go, and if you don't, that's okay too. Your money. So hope this is informative, and continue to like and subscribe and do all the things YouTubers tell you to do. Don't forget to check out my Writer's Bookshelf series. I just had the Story Genius book debuted just a little while ago. So do make sure you check out the video and then check out the book. There's 8 more books this season, and then I may have one bonus one at the end of the season, and I'll explain why there may be a bonus once I get to that point. But there may be 17 instead of 16. Spoiler alert. So anyhow, have a good day, have a good evening. Don't forget to drink coffee, whether it's 10 a.m. or not, because everyone drinks coffee. And that's all. Thanks for watching. Bye.